scroll. You see at the very top, there's 2 orange buttons to the right. Yeah, those. Click those. Yeah, click that. Yeah, click it. Yeah, okay. I'll make the metronome stop.
It's weird.
Metro Boomin.
Did you say orange is purple? Would have been orange on your computer then?
No, I said purple.
You said orange.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you said
I
orange.
said, show me the receipts.
That's why.
Show me.
That's why I was like, there's nothing orange on there.
Well, Hayden, Zach can't be on this episode of the Mochi Podcast, so I brought you a gift because, Zach doesn't get any gifts this week. Screw you, Zach, and also we're not going to cuss this week at all.
Oh, no promises.
Come on, Hayden. No curses.
Did you know it's possible to have fun without cussing? Because I didn't.
Well, I brought you a gift.
Is that so? Well, I happen to have brought you a gift, Tim.
What? No way.
Of course.
On 3. 1, 2, 3. Wow. You shouldn't have.
Well, I didn't know it was to begin with, but now.
All right, let's begin the podcast.
Oh, yeah. We got...
Welcome to this week of the Mochi Podcast, the No Zach cast. The best cats are me and Hayden, and we are the host. And, yeah, we just went to Walmart and bought us some cereal.
And the original goal was we were going to go to find a specific trick cereal that has like the Pokemon cards in it. But we didn't find those, so
screw you, Harry, for finding those. But shout out to Jay. He gave it an honest try. We gave it an honest try. But God was not in our favor this week, so we didn't get any Pokemon cards. We were going to open up on the podcast, but instead, it's going to lead into kind of our first topic. But before we get into our first topic, we need to have ourselves a little bit of the cereal. So what do we get today, Hayden, while I grab the bowls?
the cereal that we found, good Lord.
Just like Zach, when you edit this, just enhance right on this. If you can't tell, we have bowls and spoons.
So before this milk goes bad.
This Asmere. Do you like that?
The Asmere effect. It's the...
I'm gonna eat you a little bit.
No, this is getting creepy. The cereal we picked up that we just saw randomly, and it was a choice between two, and I think we chose the best one.
Oh, yeah.
It's Pop-Tart cereal, and it's a frosted strawberry. The other one we were thinking about picking up was the...
It's brown cinnamon.
No, it was the Sour Patch Kids one.
Oh, yeah,
and
definitely not that.
And I was like, it seems like a fun idea, but it's like we wouldn't have eaten that.
And I told Hayden and the thing, like, if you haven't tried the Sour Patch Kids, because I haven't either, but everyone says that it literally smells like one, it tastes like one, it's just crunchy instead of soft, which, like, kind of throws me off a little bit. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't want to eat, like... I would just eat them like regular.
It's like if Sour Patch Kids got left out in the sun, but then brought back inside where it was cool, and they would just be hard.
Yeah, and
it wouldn't be soft.
It also goes against like what we've always been told. Like, oh yeah, we all drink sour milk. Like,
heck no.
We didn't get scissors or anything.
Nah, dude, we can just
we can just use our teeth. Mom ain't around. We can use our teeth.
You can pull them open.
Do you open it from the middle?
You can, yeah.
Why?
I just put lotion on my tattoo, so I'm having a hard time here. You've never done that?
No, I always open it from the corner. That way, when you pour it, it doesn't go everywhere.
Are you 5?
Yes. Or 10, one of them. Here, pull me a good old bowl. Does it smell good? Let me get a sniff of that.
God dang.
Oh my God, dude! It smells like that.
It's strong.
It smells like those Kit Kats from Japan.
Yeah, it does.
It smells.
Wow.
All right, well, give me.
That's that's wild, man. That's the first time I've ever opened cereal that it hit me with a smell the first time I opened it.
There you go, Hayden.
Gosh. All right.
But yeah, Zach's not here, and it's against podcast rules. Well, it's against Zach rules for us to eat on the podcast. But we're not going to eat on the podcast. We're going to try the cereal and then review it. So if you're not a video watcher, just you can watch this part of the video. We'll make little snippets if Zach wants to for the Instagram. But We just hungry boys. You know, we hungry.
Don't say we never did anything for you guys.
Yeah. You know, this is, people buy pictures of feet. Maybe they want to buy pictures of or videos of us eating.
That's weird. Super weird.
That's crazy that some people make a living off of just eating stuff on camera. Like, man.
Like reviewing stuff, yeah.
Even reviewing, but like that guy wears that suit and stuff, and he just sits in his car.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that.
And he's just like, that guy.
That's what YouTube's turned into. I can't remember who was talking about it not long ago, but they were talking about how the beginning of YouTube was like, so like, it's good. Is it good?
It's stupid good.
Really? I'm gonna let it soak in the milk for a little bit longer, but
oh my god, it's so soft.
Really, that's good. That's how a Pop-Tart should be. That's like how a fresh Pop-Tart should be. And I know you can ask Tim. I'm a Pop-Tart connoisseur.
Holy shit! We're not gonna cuss this week at all.
Somebody was talking about how at the beginning of YouTube, how it was like so like people like had complete creative control over all their content, but now it's just people reviewing things and playing video games. It's not nearly as like what it once was, but I'm going for it, man.
The Fine Brothers really just started all that though. Like the Fine Brothers did the like kids like react and stuff, and then stuff like that got really big.
It is really good. Damn, this is like shout outs to Pop-Tarts, man.
Yeah, this should be it. Oh, I cuss. Sorry, Zach. How long do we get in? Like a couple seconds?
We're in like a couple minutes, but
okay.
And it was you, not me, this time.
Bleep it out. Anyway, I think we're gonna eat the cereal and then come back to the podcast. But I just wanted to start the podcast like that because no one wants to hear us eat the whole time. Okay. Well, we're back, and man,
it was really good.
So the first topic of today is gonna be literally cereal. So me and Hayden are big cereal people.
Big breakfast
we
people.
haven't been cereal people in this house though. We just like, I don't know. It's just kind of like a little too much. Like I don't feel like I have enough time to eat cereal in the morning.
Right.
Or if I do, I'm not feeling cereal. I'd rather have like a Pop-Tart or something like that.
Exactly.
Well, now we're gonna have both.
Now you got both, God. And it's like a really 10 out of 10. We'd recommend it. Like if you see Pop-Tart cereal in your store, you go pick it up. Like we're not sponsored by them. I wish we would be, but yeah.
Sponsor us. But like I 100% think that might be in some of the top cereal I've ever had in my life.
Like top tier for sure, yeah.
So growing up and stuff, like what was your go-to?
My go-to cereal? Whatever my mom bought me, really. No. When it came to cereal that I would ask my mom or my parents really to get me when I was a kid, it was usually Lucky Charms, although they would not want to buy that for me because of like they thought it was just like, I mean, it was kid cereal to begin with. It's all sugar, really.
Yeah.
So my parents really wanted to get me something they thought was like a little bit less sugary, and they would usually just get me it was like Cocoa Pebbles or like Fruity Pebbles. I was really into those for a long time, and like a lot of people don't like those because they get soggy super quick.
Yeah.
And like that never bothered me when I'd eat them like when they'd be fresh, but when also they get soggy, it wouldn't really bother me. So that, and I was really big on like Captain Crunch when I was a kid. Captain Crunch was like for sure like my favorite when I was a kid.
Yeah. Did you have phases? Because I had phases. Like
my
growing up when I was like, I would say between like 3 and 6, I was a big like Fruit Loops and Trix. Like those are like my two that I would eat all the time.
Oh yeah.
But then like as I got older, as I got into like more of like middle school, high school, Reese Puffs came out, and Reese Puffs like changed the game.
I think now that you mention it, because when I was younger, that I would hang out with my cousins a lot. Whatever, we'd go over to their house, they'd come over to our house, and whenever I'd go over to their house, of course, you go to like a friend's house or your family's house, they have different like preferences of their breakfast foods. So whenever that would happen, I would always try like their cereal, of course, whatever. And they had Reese's Puffs that I remember that, and I tried it for the first time, and it was like more than I was like ready for. I tried it for the first time
because it's literally like eating a Reese's, like, and you're like I saw the commercials, and that was like one of the first big budget, other than like Lucky Charms, and except for Lucky Charms or Fruit Loops, that was one of the biggest like budgets for actually hiring like people and not cartoons to do it, and like rap was like I was big into rap, and so rap was part of the Reese's rap and stuff like that.
That's
and
right.
Man, like it was just like, oh, my favorite like candy now has a cereal. Oh my god, it's gonna be good. Which brings in to when I found out my worst, the least favorite cereal, because like their commercials are huge. So like back in like the early 90s and early 2000s,
would go crazy with all their commercials.
Man, like advertisement was at its peak. You know, like,
I would agree. For
advertisement, like because people don't watch TV anymore. We only pay for internet.
We don't need to watch TV. Anything we want to watch is available for streaming.
And they have ads already, but they don't advertise like cereal. Like I don't know if cereal doesn't really need ads anymore.
Some things do. That's wild, man. That some things out there that people consume or like buy all the time don't really need like commercials at all.
Well, maybe they do a new thing, because I mean, honestly, if I was smart, like for example, like Boo Berry comes out, and Boo Berry is one of those cereals where you can only get it at a certain time of the year.
Seasonal cereal.
But it's incredibly good.
It's really
the
good.
Best of the monsters for sure.
Yeah.
And like Boo Berry, like it's like, oh man, Boo Berry's coming out. We could get a famous celebrity or rapper or R&B artist to like literally
endorse it. Yeah.
Yeah, like hey, we'll give you Boo Berry for like 3 months for free, or like a lifetime supply, or blah blah blah.
I wish.
If all you do is eat it on Snapchat or something like that.
Right, and like you don't even have to. And I've seen, I think it was Paul Rodriguez, who's a famous skateboarder. He's a pro. He's huge or whatever. And he was advertising for something, I want to say recently. I want to say it was for some local business that is in his area, and he was advertising for it. And all he had to do was make a video on Instagram of him like showing the product and how he likes it and he uses it, and that's it. And he it's like you don't even have to be like professional with it at all anymore. You just gotta like promote it to people who specifically follow you, and if you have a big of a following, that's good enough for most companies nowadays.
I bet people that watched that Slap video where he did the tricks are for dickheads. I bet some people went out literally to buy tricks so they can do a post about it. I bet. I mean,
definitely. I'm sure, and like if you ask him, I'm sure he'd be like, "Oh yeah, I'm sure." He's probably seen people be like, "Look at him slap,"
DM, like, "Hey man, I got some tricks." I mean, like, so I think that might be like where if I was a big provider or producer of cereal, I would do something like that. But back to kind of like what I was saying, like going to like the worst cereal.
Yeah,
Cookie Crisp.
I was gonna bring that up, and I want to say I had Cookie Crisp like a handful of times, but I never thought it was like I never saw the hype behind it, because like when I ate it, it was just like so like hard.
It destroys your mouth, like absolutely. So like,
yes.
You say the thing with Captain Crunch, and Captain Crunch is actually known for like ruining people's like.
Which I never actually had that problem, because like I said, I would let it soak in the milk long enough to where it wouldn't be not like it would be super soggy and gross, but it would soften it up to make it enjoyable.
Yeah, and so like Cookie Crisp, man, like you saw the commercial, Wolf going Cookie Crisp, like, and
it was everywhere,
and you're like, oh, dude. Cookies,
yeah, and it's
cookie cereal,
and like the kind of the advertisement behind it was like, finally you can have cookies for breakfast.
Yeah, and every kid ever in the world was like, dude. And then they got the cookies, and they're like, this is garbage. We're not like, I'm not gonna eat this.
It was around for a long time. I don't think it's still around, because like
they still sell it. I saw it tonight. Yeah. Now so there was another one. So I loved one cereal, but you had to literally pour it in the milk and then eat it immediately, and it was Corn Pops.
Yeah, I never. I think my dad liked Corn Pops, but my dad was never that big on cereal. My dad was also. Wait, was Corn Pops like the
yellow ones?
The yellow ones, yeah, that's right. I think I had those one time, and I thought it was like an adult. It was like a adult cereal, and I wasn't crazy about it.
Yeah, it.
That did have like an iconic like commercial in the 90s where it was like, gotta have my Pops.
Yeah, it's like Rice Krispies, where like you pour them into like your milk, and they make noise.
I was big on Rice Krispies, I will say. Like the Rice Krispies, and like the like I said, like Cocoa Pebbles and Fruity Pebbles, whatever. For whatever reason, I liked those a lot, because I felt like you could get a lot of the cereal in like a bowl. But like I said, people thought they get soggy too fast, and they kind of do. But if you eat it quick enough and you eat it at the right time, it's really, really good.
And I one of my like favorite things about cereal is that you can walk into a store and you can see walls, just so many planograms of just different brands of cereal, and you just never know what most of these taste like because you kind of gravitate towards more what you want and what you feel and what you are kind of craving. So when I was losing all my weight, and probably like I gained it all back, by the way, but when I was losing all my weight,
not all of it,
I really gravitated towards Honey and Oat. Honey and Oats was like really good. It was a little bit light. There's more fiber to it. It had the granola in it, and I love granola. If I start losing weight again, I'm just gonna eat granola.
And doesn't it? It also kind of like fills you up too when you eat it. It feels like an actual meal.
Yeah,
which is why people who train and lose weight and go to the gym a lot, they'll eat that specific kind of cereal.
Yeah. So like that was really good, and then I'd buy off-brand because you can literally buy like the Walmart brand. It does taste different, but it's worth $2 less. So and especially when I would do is I would eat cereal like probably like twice a day. You know, breakfast, at workout, eat another bowl of breakfast afterwards, and then because I mean fiber and milk are perfect for working out.
And you were talking about how like you see like walls of cereal and like thinking of like how it's all like everything looks like very specific, very different, and I'm thinking maybe it's really specific to like kids foods where they can just go absolutely like bonkers with like how they advertise it, like how the boxes look, whatever, because like it's marketed toward kids to where like it has the cartoon characters, it's super bright. It's like makes them think it's like they're actually watching a cartoon or something on TV.
Yeah.
To where they'll want to point it out to their parents to be like, hey, I want that. And that's like, I feel like there's a
rabbit.
Yeah, that's really interesting how they market kids like stuff like that, which seems more fun.
Oh yeah.
But it's something almost like it's one of those foods where it's like it's marketed that way, but you almost never grow out of it. And do you have anything else on cereal? I was gonna bring up like just breakfast foods in general because at my house, like. For my family, like breakfast foods were is huge. Like there's plenty of times in my family where they'll be like, all right, what we're having for dinner? Oh, we're having breakfast foods for dinner.
Yeah, we do that too.
Yeah.
I love when I come home from like Mama Goldberg's and my mom's making like
pancakes or something, or scrambled eggs and
pancakes and eggs and bacon and my mom. I wish Zach was here because Zach is one of the only people that ever experienced Linda's breakfast, but like my mom makes like a mean breakfast. She full course, melted butter in a butter bowl thing, and then like syrup, everything, sausage and bacon.
Yeah,
God.
I'm trying to tell you, that's how my dad is. My dad and I definitely got this from my dad because he when it comes to certain meals that my dad loves to make, it's a breakfast because he says it's super easy. But it's also it's always good no matter when you eat it. So my dad will make all that stuff as well. And breakfast is just, they say it's the most important meal of the day, but it's also the best out of the three meals.
And it's also the hardest to get to, in my opinion.
Yeah, you're right.
Because I mean, you wake up about 7:30, depending on what alarm you wake up on.
Right.
And then Hayden likes to get kind of ready, then he goes to the bathroom, and you're using the bathroom for about 30 to 40 minutes, I think most mornings.
Yeah, and it's usually to shower or whatever, and
then get ready, and then he leaves. Same with me. I take a shower, let my hair dry while I get dressed, then I leave for work.
Out the door. Yeah, because we like to stay up late too, so whenever we go to bed, it's we try to get as much sleep as possible, and we're not. I feel like neither of us are morning people. I feel like you're more of a morning person than I am.
I say
you're a little bit more of a morning person.
I'm one of those people, and you can even ask Zach this too. If literally it's alarm clock 6 o'clock. Oh, okay. Well, right. I'm up now. I literally stood up and now I'm up and I can do anything I want.
And I guess it varies on the day. If I have to go to work that day, I obviously don't want to get up. I want to stay in bed. But on the weekends when I have my off days. I'll be up as soon as I wake up the first time, and I'm up for a while. So
you take naps though. I don't ever take naps.
Most recently, this past weekend, I woke up Saturday and Sunday. Both days I woke up at 7 in the morning. and I was hanging out for a while. Then I took a nap on the new couch because like that couch is so comfortable. I took like a few naps on that couch, and boy, that was
it's good.
Really, really, really good.
I'm so glad I bought it back.
Yeah, but normally on any given day, I usually don't take naps that often. The days that I'm off, because I like to have like try to make the fullest or like be awake and do something or hang out for my full off day. You know, whenever I have them. But I was thinking, because you know, like when it comes to like breakfast foods,
Pop-Tarts.
I always get a Pop-Tart, usually followed by an energy drink. That's you know
the aesthetic of Hayden Estes.
And that's just because, and that's like super common because I work in a warehouse where that's everybody's breakfast. It's like something quick followed by either coffee, an energy drink, or like a soda, whatever. And that's like their morning, like, pick me up or whatever. And that really began with like my dad. Whenever I was like a kid and I'd stay up late on the weekends and like watching like Toonami or like watching cartoons super late at night. And our when we had just one TV at my parents' very first house, we had one TV in the living room, and me and my sister would stay up late just watching TV. But then we'd always fall asleep on like the couches. And then on the weekends when my dad would go to work, I remember sometimes I'd wake up while my dad was on his way to work, and my dad would always give me like he'd get like a Pop-Tart to go on his way to work as well. And sometimes he gives me a Pop-Tart as well.
And he still buys you Pop-Tarts, which shout out Leonard, man. He's like, man,
it's true. They do.
I miss Hayden, so I'm gonna buy him a big box of Pop-Tarts.
They've done it like a handful of times, and it's awesome. So sometimes when I drop at my parents' house, they're like, hey, we got a present for you, and it's of course Pop-Tarts. They just know what I like, I guess.
I can't believe how long I was buying the Aldi Pop-Tarts. And just like
which those were good though.
Yeah, they're not that bad. But there's like some Aldi things like I eat and I'm like,
come on, Aldi.
Like their instead of the Lucky Charms, instead of Lucky Charms they do the
what was it?
Marshmallow and Stars or something.
It was Marshmallow and Stars, and it was the you good, bro?
Can I get some of that water?
Ooh. And I like the mascot for theirs. It was a wizard, and the wizard just looked super weird.
My favorite, because
we laughed about that for a while.
My favorite thing is when we go in there is because they're off brands, and off brands always have the best like names.
They don't, because off brands don't have to try, like for real.
It's like, oh, people love a low price, and people don't mind paying something less for less quality if it tastes close enough.
So it's close enough, so we give you a mascot that's close enough.
Well, because we're both death metal fans, and we love grindcore, and like we love like stupid stuff like breeds and stuff in music. Every time we walk in and we see the cereal, there's always a box that says shredded wheat, and we lose it just because
of the band Waking the Cadaver had that YouTube video where somebody did like the interpreted like
what he's saying
whatever
breeze.
They're trying to interpret the lyrics of his death metal growls. So instead he's like pig squealing, he sounds like that. Like he's literally doing that in the song.
And people think he's like doing shredded.
And people think he's saying shredded wheat. And that's been a joke since like 2008 for like a lot of people with that band. And every time we go in Aldi, we see that. It just never gets old.
Man,
we love cereal on this podcast.
We love cereal. We also love off-brand stuff.
It's true.
And like one of my favorite things is like going into Walmart and then going like to different big food markets where they have their own versions of these off-brands. Like, so there's Mountain Dew, and then there is Mountain Lightning, and then there's Mountain Yeller.
Is that real?
Mountain Yeller.
There's another one. I can't remember what the other one's called. I think I've seen Mountain Yeller.
There's something pig. I can't remember what the pig one's called, but there's a pig one, and it's...
Well, there's also, I got to bring this up. There's a Dr. Pepper, of course. Then there's Pibb Extra or Mr. Pibb.
Yes.
And then there was like another one called Dr. Bob.
I know it was Dr. I don't remember Dr. Bob.
Dr. Bob was like, I think it was like a Dollar General, like it's a Dollar General exclusive or something.
then there's Mr. Pig, which is
that the other one?
Pig Wiggly one. Oh dang, there's another Dr. Pepper one I can't think of. Man, it's so good though. Like for example, when we walked in the cereal, there's like that was the last cereal thing I was gonna. So there is the morning cereals for older people,
Yeah.
which don't want the sugar, but they want to have something to eat.
Yeah.
They're like life cereal. It's called Awake. It's called Awake. Awake with oats.
It's like another day. I'm awake.
Another wake. I got to eat myself to awake.
Gosh.
But anyway, like my mom
silly.
actually this is terrible. So mom, I know you're listening, but this is terrible for me and you growing up. And I don't know. Hopefully you don't do it anymore. But my mom bought Life cereal, and I actually like Life cereal, but I only like it because my mom showed me where she was like, yeah, Life cereal's really good. Yeah, you just got to make sure you put in a couple spoons of brown sugar. Like, my mom literally have a bag of brown sugar, scoop it, and put it in.
That will make any cereal better.
I was like, this
so
is
good.
worse. This is worse than buying, what?
Lucky Charms?
Toasted, what's it? Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch,
It's pretty much what it is. It's like cereal with cinnamon on it. God.
Just 2 spoonfuls.
God. I mean, it tastes good. I'd eat it today, but it was so like heavy, and then there would still be some on the bottom, like the darker brown cinnamon.
Yeah.
I'm like, God, I ingested that.
Trust me, I know, man. I think I did the same thing with cereal when I was a kid. I just put like, if I didn't think it was good enough, I'd be like, let me get some sugar from the pantry. That's good. and then my mom was like, you're putting sugar on sugar, you know, and I'm like, yeah, I know, that's awful for you.
Blackout, you just scratch the door, or you sneeze on the door? I couldn't tell. Does it sound the same?
Did she scratch the door? It'd be funny. She just sneezed on the door like.
Blackout, why you look like Master Splinter?
She kind of does. Can we Photoshop Blackout's face on Master Splinter?
Dude, let's do that. Blackout does kind of look like Master Splinter, but a little bit.
Okay, can we just Photoshop all of our faces on the Ninja Turtle?
Oh my God, that'd be good. Lake. Oh, I just can imagine. Which one would Lake be? Let's make him Raphael. He can just.
I was never into Ninja Turtles, so I don't care who I am. I want to be the one with the scythes. Is he cool?
The scythes with the small ones?
Yeah,
that's Raphael.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Michelangelo's the
nunchuck guy.
Nunchuck, and then Donatello.
There was a sword, and then there was a
Donatello.
bow staff.
I think is.
Want me to let her out?
Yeah, you can let her out. I'm trying to think. I'm just going to spitball. I think Donatello was the.
There's a sword guy, right?
No, it was a stick.
Yeah, the bow staff.
Bow staff, which I think was. Yeah, no, that's Donatello. Was that Leonardo? I can't remember what Leonardo had.
I think it was a sword.
I mean, yeah, he'd be the deadliest one.
He had a bow and arrow.
He had a bow and arrow.
That'd be badass.
My favorite Ninja Turtle had a bow and arrow. He keeps it in his shell. Shredder's over there, just
God,
like
Shredder's badass. I gotta look it up because I'm pretty sure it was a sword.
I can't remember because then he is like the deadliest
turtle. I mean, they probably went from sword first, and they just like, all right, let's go down the list of the other ones we care about. Yeah.
God, what a topic change right there.
I think it is sword. It is sword, yeah.
It is it. God, Leonardo's badass.
Yeah, he's literally the one with the best weapon because it's like nunchucks or whatever. I mean, scythes are fine. Bow staff is like you got range, but like the sword, you're gonna murder
you have
somebody.
Range and a deadly weapon, a stick.
I think he has 2 in some of them, so he has 2 swords. So he's like Zoro from One Piece.
Leonardo, man, he got the best part of that. I never watched that growing up, by the way. I didn't watch Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I was kind of into Ninja Turtles when I was a kid. I did the VHS tapes my mom bought from like a friend, and she thought I would like them. And I was never super into Power Rangers when I was a kid either. I did watch it, and specifically the movie with Ivan Ooze. That was like, dude, I think we watched that one time when I was like a kid in like daycare, and I thought it was like the coolest thing ever. And it really was. That kind of like sparked my love for like giant mechas too.
I always liked the little butler. I can't remember what his name was. It had a little like spaceship UFO head.
Yeah.
ay. Like he always comes around and would like
I know
be
you're
like
talking about.
Power Rangers.
I know what you're talking about. We need to watch that movie just to see how bad it is.
I was telling Sarah today that I want to watch the Digimon movie so bad because
you mentioned that, yeah.
God, it's so good.
That was on Twitter not that long ago. Somebody tweeted about it, and I remember it was like last year when you mentioned how we watched like random episodes of Dragon Ball, and then we watched like that episode like 3 or 4 of Digimon, and you were like, dude, I just want to watch the Digimon movie so bad.
It's so good.
I think I've only seen it once.
We'll watch it again. I think it's on YouTube. I think I watched the full movie on YouTube, but like that, I was talking with Harry about it last year. What made me spark to like watch it is because I was talking about. I was like, "Oh yes, you're the Digimon movie." Like he was talking to me about a game, and I was like, "Oh yeah, so it's the Digimon movie." He's like, "What?" I was like, "That's the plot of the Digimon movie." And he's like, "What?"
BioShock Infinite, the plot of the Digimon movie.
It's great. If no one's ever seen the Digimon movie, it's literally like the show as a whole. Never watched it other than like episode 3 with Hayden, and and
it's a good episode.
We should watch episode 18 though, and sorry, little burpee came out. Burp.
Anyways, Digimon.
But, Digimon, that was such a weird show. Especially when we watch those videos where they get to like their maximum, and then it's just they don't even say words, but they always end with Mon. It's just like
it's like Mon, and he just looks like just a million things combined into one with like mecha parts.
Yeah, like if you like Zach, if you can, like I'm gonna do the first voice. The first voice is like them at their like baby state, and the second voice is gonna be them at their top. So the first like, all right, Goramon.
Yeah.
And then
their final
one. Hayden, you can do the final one.
The final one. What would the name of it be? It was like Skidly Diddly Mon or something.
Or no, you gotta have like G's in there, like God.
Skirbergergermon.
Yeah, but make his voice like super deep.
Or something. I don't know. They make it like really. Anyways, before Digimon, what were we talking about? We were getting off subject. We're just starting to talk about.
I think we were talking about our sponsor for this episode of the Mochi Podcast.
Our sponsor? Who's our sponsor this week?
This episode of the Mochi Podcast is brought to you by Anchor FM. Anchor is the one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing your podcast.
I refuse to sing.
Best of all, it's 100% free and ridiculously easy to use.
I have $3.
And now, what?
I have $3.
You have $3? Well, that's good because Anchor is always free and any user can use it. That Mochi Podcast actually started off using Anchor.
Even you.
And now Anchor can match you with great sponsors too, so you can get paid to podcast.
Money for podcasting?
Money? I like money.
I can double my $3, you're saying?
So, Hayden, if you had Anchor FM, do you think you need a microphone?
Not necessarily.
Do you need a mixer?
I wouldn't say so.
Well, that's no problem because you can actually just use your phone. So with Anchor, you can record, edit, and upload episodes straight from your mobile phone. Anchor supplies you with the tools you need along with the resources. Anchormon.
Anchor FM and I'm on.
Let's try that again. Anchor supplies you with the tools you need along with the resources to distribute your podcast on major networks like Apple Podcasts and Spotify. If you're looking to launch a podcast, do it with Anchor. Sign up today at anchor.fm/start. That's anchor.fm/start. Thank you, Anchor, for supporting this episode of the Mochi Podcast.
Thank you, Anchor.
There was no flubs in that. Not at all.
Not that you'll hear.
I'm sorry, Zach. Oh, what a Zachless podcast this is.
Just go to facebook.com/the Get Down Kids Official.
I said, man,
why do you have that?
because Zach just keeps stuff like that.
Oh, it's Zach's. That makes sense. And
yeah.
The video.
The Get Down Kids sticker, or have POD video game that no one's ever played, and he has both.
That's more specific to Zach.
I guess. No one has that.
It's true.
We need to look on eBay to see if anyone's actually selling that game. Check it real quick.
What if it's like on sale for 48 cents or something?
So, this podcast, me and Hayden were talking about where we want to kind of focus really on sugar. We want to like literally talk about sugar because that's like really probably our biggest addiction. Because like we don't do drugs. We drink, I would say, more on occasion.
Occasionally, yeah.
But like we just can't stop ingesting sugar, and it's hard. So, which I talk about this guy a lot, but Matt Diavelli, he just did a video where he did 30 days without sugar, and he said, man, the 7th day without sugar, like any sugar, was like living in hell. Like he goes,
really?
He was just like, dude, I was crashing because when you're crashing,
and you don't realize like what sugar goes all into. And like I tried to give up sugar for a little bit, and I was like, I'm not gonna have any sugar at all. And I was eating fruit. There's sugar in fruit, and let me tell you, there's a good bit of sugar in fruit. But I mean, like that's like you've gone like days and days without like soda before, or whatever. And,
yeah. But I was eating other stuff to
that makes sense. Yeah,
contradict that. But like he was saying, like he was talking to a specialist, which was really neat because the specialist was saying us as a society have gotten away from us. I mean, what was the point of dessert back in the day? Dessert was the point of the day where you have some sugar.
Yeah.
But when do we have dessert ever?
Never.
Because because sugar is just in everything now because it's.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's just kind of how it is, and that was like really like. That was really awesome to kind of hear today because like it makes you when people say very simple things like that and they make you think about like personally what you ingest all the time.
Mm-hmm.
In the mean you won't stop. We're not gonna.
Well, it's hard, and we do it just because we have those things, and just because like it's almost like a luxury for us, especially because I feel like both of us work so much, and we don't have like as much time to eat as what we want because we're working so much. Me especially, like. I really don't have full meals unless I'm at home with you and you're making food, or I go to my parents' house and they have like a full meal. When I'm at work, I'm usually just kind of either having like maybe something in the snack machine, or maybe something I brought from home, followed by like if I'm drinking an energy drink or water. So it's not like whenever I do have sugar or like a actual snack, it's something because I can't have it all the time, you know?
Yeah, where like it doesn't seem like it was a waste of money, but it feels like so the other day I had Smileys, which is like which is a brand from Walmart where it's just little gummies, which honestly those Walmart gummies are probably some of the best gummies ever to exist. Like they're incredible. But like Smileys is like, oh, it's a box of 32. Oh, these are awesome. Gone in 3 days.
Yeah.
32 packs gone in 3 days.
That's insane.
It's just because like they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna give you these, and like per pack's like probably like 100 calories or something, and but there's only like 6 in them, and you eat 3 at a time, and then you're like, well, I gotta give me another pack because I'm not done.
That's true.
And which makes me think of Jimbo. Jimbo has this renowned, just known part of him that all my friends know of how Jimbo is one of the only humans in the world who opens up
this is stupid, by the way.
Yeah, this is ridiculous. He opens up an entire Chewy Chips Ahoy box, and he eats 2 and puts them away. How do you do it, Jimbo? We need the answers. Like, analyze. Like, how...
Jimbo is, a master at, what's the word I'm thinking of?
Self-managing, but...
self-restraint or whatever?
Yeah, self-restraint.
Of just, self-control, all right, I only ever need 2.
Yeah, he does it
But how often do we get, a pack of Oreos, but we end up eating 12
in the same day? We eat a full sleeve. Like we'll sit there and be like,
because Oreos are just
4 Oreos that'll get me by, and then we're like, I could eat 3 more.
I could eat 17 more.
It's just like it's so bad, but I just don't know. I wish I had that fulfillment. Like maybe I just need to eat so much sugar it makes you throw up, and I just don't want to eat anymore.
Trust me, that will not change it because it's happened to me before.
Jimbo also does it with Doritos, by the way. Jimbo will open up a Cool Ranch Doritos. He'll eat 5 chips and then roll the bag back up.
Dude, with a Cool Ranch. Ooh.
Is it? it blows my mind. But shout out to him because, man, that's a strong man right there. That's a strong man.
Shout out Jimbo. He knows how to just like manage himself when it comes to snacks. Like, I'm going to want these later. 2 cookies. It's all for me.
But at the same time, he drinks like 5 Mountain Dews a day.
You give and you take. You gotta like.
You win, you lose.
Even it out somehow. Anyways, Mountain Dews are pretty good. I don't drink soda that much anymore, but Mountain Dews are pretty good. So
I always drink a Diet Mountain Dew if I come over to their house, though.
Dude, I'm talking about. That's like my mom's life source is Diet Mountain Dew. For as long as I've been alive, my mom has had like Diet Mountain Dew. Like, if she can have Diet Mountain Dew on tap every single day of the year, 24/7, my mom would.
That'd my mom would so
invest.
Sick.
My mom would invest in that. I'm not even joking. But like, they had to stop. And I'm shouting to my parents. I'm very proud of my parents. Recently, they started going to the gym like every single day. Because my dad had to have like surgery not that long ago for like to help with like his back and his shoulder, or whatever. And after that, my mom and my dad were like, all right, we got to start being more active. And they used to like kind of walk around the neighborhood and like to be like, that was their like exercise. But they've been going to the gym and like my dad like actually working out regularly. And I'm very proud of them for that. But they've almost completely cut out soda of their diet. So yeah,
I wish. Like
it's really hard to cut out, and the thing with them, they said the reason it was hard for them to begin with, it was because it was carbonated, and you just like once you have carbonated drinks, it's like you crave it all the time.
Yeah, I think the worst part for me with carbonated drinks is so like I drink, even the tea packets are not good for us, but we still drink them all the time. But because like that's the thing with carbonated drinks and that those tea packets, it's like you drink one, and you're like, man, I'm still thirsty. It's because like they make you thirsty again. And but when you drink a bottle of water for like the first time out of like drinking soda and you drink a bottle of water, you're like, oh man, this water hitting right here.
I'm telling you, I don't really, because I stopped drinking the tea ones that just have water, because like I feel like it was either you or it was somebody else. It was when you were like really like a big health nut, like losing all that weight at one point. And you were like, why not just drink water by itself? Because that will actually quench your thirst and not want to make you have another drink or like another soda. Because that's really what soda will do. That's kind of the idea behind like soda marketing companies, is they like, you have one, but that's only going to make you want another one. And then you're going to drink all of them sooner, then you're going to have to go buy more. So it's just kind of an endless cycle. But if you have like, if you have water, good old water, you have like one water, and that's like really all you need, and you'll be like, you won't be thirsty anymore. You really won't want another after you have one water, at least for me. And I have my water bottle at work, and there'll be times where I'll drink like 2 big jugs of water like every single day, and before I knew it, like I had completely dropped soda. So.
Yeah, I want to drop, because I only drink soda when I'm at work, and I want to drop it so bad, but like I get to work, and then as soon as I get to work, if I don't have a soda, I kind of start getting a headache. And I don't know if that's just because of it being one of those things that where like you're in a certain situation, you have to have something to make it all make sense. Like if I go to work and I don't have something, it will like maybe
it'll throw you off.
Yeah, mentally it's like throw me off.
Yeah, it just something feels like not there. I've been there before, and like I'll have usually just about every day, if not, I'd say like maybe 2 days out of the week, I won't get an energy drink for work, whatever. And those days like it's usually like the end of the week where I really don't need something to like kickstart me. It does feel weird. It feels like something like something part of your routine is not in the routine. So in your brain, I feel that.
Because I don't drink soda at the house. Like none of us in this house drink soda, like regularly in the house.
Yeah.
Because there's no point, because we're going to drink it all in the like first day or two, like the freaking gummy packets. Like,
it's true.
We just kind of need to get I think we did get away from doing stuff, because we were buying stuff like that through Aldi. We would buy like those little snacks and stuff, and we keep our house is really pretty much bare from food most of the time. Like we don't really have like a lot of food ever. Opposed to like our parents growing up, where like the food was stocked, the cabinets were stocked.
That's how it felt. Yeah, at some points, because I remember especially when I was younger, before me and my sister were like buying our own food. Especially even when me and my sister were still living at our parents' house, we'd buy our own food basically at most of the time. But when we were kids and our parents would like stock up on like food, it was like they had food for forever. What it seemed, you know.
But the thing is, you didn't eat
as much, you know.
Well, it's not that you eat much. You didn't eat the bigger stuff. You eated the quick stuff.
Yeah.
Because as a kid, this is really gross, by the way. So, like, as a kid, I didn't really learn how to start, like, cooking stuff until I was probably about 13, 14, which is kind of, I wouldn't know if that's late or not, because I think most people our age don't know how to cook in general. But when I was younger, I always wanted eggs in the morning. But my mom's a night owl, so she stays up very late, and then she has to wake up pretty early to get to work. And like, so I'd wake up at 6:30 to be able to get ready for bed, or to get ready for school, and I want like eggs. So there's a point in my life,
which is like eggs for breakfast is like it's a great way to start your day.
Yeah, but not this way. So I would get hungry, so I would whip eggs, which I'm really good at whipping eggs. Like I learned how, my mom taught me how to do that really well.
You know,
boy,
he's good at whipping that. I just cussed.
Oh, flame him.
All right, so eggs in the morning.
So anyway, I would whip up 2 eggs because 2 eggs is exactly what I like. 2 eggs, and I put it in a bowl, and I put it in the microwave. Have you ever had microwaved eggs before?
No.
It literally fluffs them up to like they kind of look like.
I've never tried that. So.
Well, we bought 32 eggs, so if you want to, I will put an egg in the microwave so you can see what an egg looks like. I'll actually, you know what? I'm gonna do it for the podcast. If you watch the video podcast, I'm gonna do it after the podcast. I'm gonna put an egg, and then I'm gonna send the picture to Zach with no context and say, "Hey, put this into the video."
There's nothing to do with what we're talking about, but speaking of eggs, if you can crush an egg with just your 2 fingers. We'll cash app you like $5 or something.
God, we need to do. So when Zach comes back, we need to do that, because there's this thing where you can't crush an egg from the top of it to the bottom of it with your index and your thumb. You put it between. You squeeze as hard as you want, but you can't crack it. Not from the sides, from the very top and the very bottom of it, and people think I'm faking it. People like I do it all the time, and like you see my hand shake and my veins come out. But
I've tried it too. It's like impossible, man.
You can't do it. There's probably someone out there that can, probably like that vegan who won the strongest man in California. He could probably do it, but which is kind of funny that the strongest man world tournament was a vegan, because he probably just
vegan power, man.
Yeah, man.
They got it somehow. They don't eat eggs, I guess.
Yeah.
That's what we're losing. Anyways, eggs.
That's good. That's a good full circle joke. I like that.
Oh, okay. Anyways.
And man, like, and I also did that with bacon. I put raw bacon like on a plate and do it. And
I've never done.
Oh man, like
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, and then the weirdest thing is me and my sister Tina. My mom will remember this too. Me and my sister Tina. Man, this is a waste of money now I'm thinking about it. Me and my sister love cheese. Okay, cheese is incredible.
Cheese goes hard. I don't care what anybody says.
So we don't know how to cook, but we know how to microwave. So we would get a full plate. So like a, let's see, like 12-inch, 12 by 12. How big a plate is? Like a big plate. Like for dinner, a dinner plate. There we go.
It's probably about 10 inches, yeah.
Yeah,
or like 12 inches.
And we'll cover it in Kraft single cheese, put it in their microwave until it starts kind of bubbling up a little bit, and then we would get a fork and just eat the cheese. I know, we're weird, but man, but the thing is, my sister did it, and I thought, like, you are crazy.
There's nothing good about it.
Which my sister is crazy, but like I was like, you're insane. That is so weird. And then she made me try it one day, and I tried that.
And you were like, that shit hit.
And my sister must have been high as hell to be doing that. Like, because she would have been like 16, 17.
Right.
She probably was high as hell doing it. Because, man, that was a weird thing to try. But I was like 7 or 8, just like, oh, cheese. This is good. Oh, God.
This has been like the food cast for sure.
Yeah, good. So. Zach doesn't watch TV shows, play video games. He probably doesn't eat. Zach's a robot, everyone. So to let everyone know, if you've watched any of our podcasts, Zach's a robot.
Zach's a robot.
Zach's a boop, boop, boop. He's what Mr. Krabs is whenever that song comes on.
It's true, he is.
He doesn't have his batteries. But he wouldn't get that reference because he doesn't know what SpongeBob is.
God, I've made like a few SpongeBob references to Zach. Sometimes when it was just me and him hanging out, and he's just like, what? What? I'm like,
just your stare, just there.
I just forget it, Zach. Just forget it.
God, when they built the SpongeBob like replica restaurants and stuff like that.
Yeah, I saw that.
Take Zach to one of those, and so you like.
No, you take Zach to there and be like,
this, Cracker Barrel?
Yeah, Zach would be like, where are we? It's like, Zach, do you know what this is from? Nope, don't know where this is. And I was like, Zach, why don't you order a Krabby Patty? Know what that is? No idea what that is. Zach is a man of no culture. That's what he is. I love you, Zach. Me and Zach hung out this past Saturday, and it ended up we were gonna go like thrifting, and we were gonna go thrifting, and then we're gonna go to which Zach. Next time you come over, I use those light bulbs I bought to light up my room downstairs. The downstairs room I live in now is like bright. You can see everything now. It's awesome.
Oh yeah.
But me and Zach were ended up. I was like, all right, Zach, we're gonna go thrifting. I'm gonna buy some stuff like at the thrift store, and then we're gonna go look at some shoes, look for some new Vans, and then we're probably gonna go to like Home Depot or something. Probably go grab some beer at Publix, and that'd be it. And then Zach was like, all right, cool, man. I just bought a bunch of stuff for my van. I'm not spending any money at all, or don't want to spend any money at all. So like, I'll just kind of tag along and hang out with you for the rest of the day, man. So Zach ends up spending more money than I do. Of course, and Zach bought like some nice dress shoes at the thrift store and like some Nike shorts or something like that. And he was like, "Dude, can you believe this?" He bought that. We go to. I'm not gonna tell the story about like what we saw at Kohl's. I told you that story.
Yeah.
I'm not telling that story, but we saw something weird happen at Kohl's. I'm not gonna get into it. We went and go look at some shoes at Kohl's. Turns out that was a bust. The Vans at Kohl's were like, eh. Then we go to like Home Depot, and of course it's Zach, the handyman Zach. He wants to look at stuff at Home Depot. So
he's a grandpa.
So we spent like an hour in Home Depot. I get the light bulbs I need, and Zach is like just browsing all kinds of stuff for his van, of course.
Oh, I could use this screw. This is a nice screw.
Yeah. He literally goes through like some of like those for like 20 minutes.
He becomes Henry.
Yeah.
As I was listening to the old podcast, I miss Henry.
I mentioned that. Yeah, Henry hasn't made a comeback yet.
Henry. We're at the depot, the Home Depot, and they got the screws, but they also got the nuts. And you put the nuts in the screw.
You put them together, and you just got yourself a good old thing going on.
I was looking at paint, and I was gonna put a big old 69 on the side of my van.
I wish Zach would do that.
Do you have anything else you want to contribute to the end of the podcast tonight?
Are we gonna say the Comic-Con stuff or when it actually happens?
Yeah, I think
that's fine.
Comic-Con's coming up. It's actually next week.
Yeah, this next or it's the last weekend of February.
So whenever this episode comes out, Comic-Con probably already happened or is about to happen. But you'll get our videos, you'll get our comments and everything about that.
And Lake's going with us. Probably Steven and Jay are also going to be there, so we might have like either one of those guys on the podcast with us to talk about Comic-Con afterwards. It just kind of depends. And you'll know all the details of what we saw, what we did, what we're looking forward to, and everything for that.
And if you see us there, feel free to say hi to us. We will look like we always do. We're not dressing up or anything, so.
I wish Brent had brought that up to me. I talked to Brent, or I messaged Brent talking about how I always love seeing him cosplay as like stuff from JoJo and Hunter x Hunter. He told me I should cosplay at something I would be good at it, and I was like, I don't know what I could ever cosplay as, but I've thought about certain characters I'd want to go as. It'd be fun for sure.
Yeah, it'll definitely be fun. But yeah, well, everyone, this has been the Mochi Podcast. If you didn't know, you can find us on Twitter, Instagram at MochiPodcast. We also have a website, MochiPodcast.com, and that way we always have our videos live. We have all of links or questions, whatever you need right in the bio. You can go and find us on Spotify, iTunes, Anchor, Shout out to Anchor again, SoundCloud, whatever.
Just about any place you can find podcasts, you'll be able to find us on.
Oh, yes. And, yeah, it's been a great episode. I'm sorry Zach couldn't be here today if he's your favorite.
Yeah,
but
this is kind of a test run to see like what it's going to be like when Zach leaves and it's just the two of us for episodes.
Yeah, the truth is we actually forgot to, plug him in the back. So Zach's charging up right now, so...
He's working on his van. We actually left him at Home Depot. He's still there looking at stuff to this day.
Yeah.
So
he's on like his van says charger.
This is a nice screw.
Hey, sir, we're closing.
Now I just got to look at every screw.
I built Home Depot.
Every screw, every pipe, every light.
My kitchen's in the back, next to the washing machine and the grills and the toilet.
God. This has been the Mochi Podcast.
Thank you, and we love Tim.
Watch anime. We love Tim.
Okay, bye.